Welcome to Cooking with Paul Sands and Marty Stewart.
Welcome to Cooking with Paul Sands and Marty Stewart. I am Paul Sands.
And I'm Marty Stewart.
Welcome to Cooking with Paul Sands and Marty Stewart. So, Marty, what do you think we should cook today?
Well, Paul, I believe some hamburger helper sounds mighty good.
Well, it does. Since it helps the hamburger, we should have hamburger helper. Now, let's just move on over here. And let's see, today on our menu we have hamburger helper with Paul Sands and Marty Stewart. Hi, Marty.
Hey, Paul.
I'm Paul.
We'll be right back with more Cooking with Paul Sands and Marty Stewart.
What flavor of hamburger helper will we be cooking today, Paul?
Well, today the hamburger helper is add hamburger helper, home cooked skillet meal, Mexican favorites made with El Paso seasoning, cheesy nacho pasta and taco cheese sauce, mixed cereal number 01600470507, cheesy nacho hamburger helper, add hamburger. And the instructions are actually, you can also have box top education. Box top education gives money to schools. And better if used by 727 September 06 WCW 02:4304. This is Cooking with Marty Stewart and Paul Sands.
That sounds delicious.
Let's go to a commercial.
We'll be right back with more Cooking with Paul Sands and Marty Stewart.
Welcome back. As you can see, we have begun browning the hamburger.
The hamburger really isn't too brown right now, Marty. Didn't you see that it's red?
Well, Paul, I suppose you're right.
It's
So we're beginning the process.
yes. And if you notice, I am wearing gloves. Gloves are a very safety
Right.
issue in case of large flames, explosions of the oven, or a gas explosion. Would be rather tragic.
That stove is quite hot.
If you also notice, the gloves that I'm wearing here are very fire retardant. That does not mean fire is retarded, but it means that it retards the fire if the fire does come out, so it's retarded.
Right.
So that way we don't get any flames going through my body.
Paul, I agree.
Yes, that's a good observation, Marty. Now, if you'll notice here that the meat is still red, that means there's blood.
Yes, Paul.
And so, here we are browning the meat. The meat must be very, very, very cooked, very, very well. Very cooked well. Because the cooking well helps the redness go away and the
Right.
browning process to really begin, because Marty did not really understand that.
Right, I was just gonna ask you, why do we need the hamburger brown?
That's because we want it cooked.
I see.
That's a good observation, Marty. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul.
Alright, as we wait for this to brown here, we're going to also want to look at the directions on the box. Alright, first step is brown ground beef and 10-inch skillet drain. That doesn't mean the skillet is draining, it means drain the skillet 10-inch ground beef. So our second step, since we already are in the process of browning the red meat, our second step is very simple. Stir in hot water, milk, sauce milk, and uncooked pasta.
I think you meant sauce mix.
Yes, sauce mix and uncooked pasta. Heat to boiling, stirring occasionally. All right, and here we are, and Is Is it browning there, Paul?
The
Or Marty?
process of browning has begun.
This is good because your name is Marty and my name is Paul. And so here, stir in hot water, milk, sauce mix, and uncooked pasta. Let's see, how much do we need of those ingredients? Marty?
Does it say on the box?
It
I
might.
believe up here.
Oh, good observation, Marty. Good thing I have Marty here cooking with me, otherwise we would be in trouble. So we need 2.5 cups of hot water. 2.5 cups. I wonder if we have measuring cups, Marty.
Well, Paul, I believe we do right over here in the sink. I just washed them, and so we should be.
That looks more like a wine glass to me.
Yes.
And
That's
so,
not a very big.
actually, Marty, we're running out of time. We need to go to commercial
Well,
break.
yes, and in the meantime, we'll look for some more measuring cups.
Yes. Thanks for joining us, folks.
We'll be right back with more Cooking with Paul Sands and Marty Stewart.
Just like flipping hamburgers, Marty.
Yes, Paul, I would say.
Pretty much is hamburger. Welcome back, folks. I'm Paul Sands, and this is Marty Stewart. Jack, Marty.
I'm Marty.
I was talking to the crowd. Anyway, we have a guest with us this evening as we're browning the hamburger, or the hamburger helper skillet, homemade skillet thing. And we have Bob with us. Welcome, Bob, folks.
Hey, Bob.
Hi, Marty. How you doing?
Have you here?
Paul. Thanks, Marty.
Hey, Bob. And folks, if you'll notice, in your bulletins that most shows don't have, but we do have, thanks to the underwritten show of Bulletin Board. And here Bob is today to hover with us and to help us to brown the hamburger and fix this hamburger helper for a lovely meal this evening.
We will now be adding the rest of the ingredients. Here we have 5 cups of hot water.
Now that's a lot of water, Marty
That is,
and
Bob.
It is. So you need to watch out when you're carrying 5 cups of water, of hot
Yes.
water, I should say.
Yes, I am being very, very,
Safety is the key.
very careful.
Very careful. So
Now, to save time, what we decided to do was to add the milk to the water so we could just pour it all in one motion.
sound thinking, Marty.
Would you help me out with the pouring of
I
the
could.
milk, Bob? I'll tell you, we need to add 1 cup of milk to our 5 cups of water.
So
I'll tell you when to stop.
okay.
Careful, boys. Not too much, but not too little is my motto. Measure twice and pour once.
Oh dear. We're gonna have to go to a commercial break. We're experiencing technical difficulties. So,
Don't worry, folks.
and we're back.
And we're back.
We will continue pouring the milk in the hot water until we reach 1 more cup.
How am I doing there, Marty?
Looks good, Bob.
Right there?
A little more there, Bob.
Okay.
That should be good, Bob.
All right, Marty.
Thanks, Bob. I'm going to put the milk back in the refrigerator because milk has to be refrigerated.
It does.
Sanitation is our motto. All right, folks. Here we are browning the hamburger. This is what brown hamburger looks like.
Looks delicious.
It does, Marty. What do you say, Bob?
It looks delicious, Paul.
Thanks, Bob. What do you say we have those ingredients in this brown hamburger? Boys?
Great, Paul.
All right, Bob and Marty, why don't you just get...
By adding the water and milk mix.
Good job, Marty. Sound thinking. That looks scrumptious, Marty. Thanks for adding it in.
No problem, Paul.
Next on the list it says sauce mix and uncooked pasta. And since it mentions sauce mix first, we're going to add that. So,
Good sound thinking
here
there,
comes the
Bob.
sauce mix.
Good thing we're adding sauce mix and not something else. Thanks there, Bob. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit to get this baby cooking.
Paul, I have one more bag here.
Why don't you go ahead and just pour right on in there, Bob? Thanks, Bob. Excellent pouring.
Looks delicious.
The soup does look good. Unfortunate thing is we haven't had soup on the menu lately. We are going to stir the noodles in. Thanks there, Bob.
Wonderful stirring there, Paul.
Thanks, Bob. Folks, this is a very, very dangerous situation here. We must make sure that it does not boil over in any manner as he pours the noodles in. You'll notice he was very careful. Safety is our motto.
Yes, Paul and Bob.
Thanks, Marty. Alright, folks, while we let this cook, I think we're going to cut to a commercial break. Thanks for joining us.
We'll be right back with more Cooking with Paul Sands and Marty Stewart.
Welcome back, folks. Here we have a nice boil. And this is Paul Sands and Marty Stewart. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Hi.
And as I said, here we have a nice boil. We're going to let this sit, and we'll be covering it with a cover. A very wonderful cover. But you might want to keep stirring it so the things do not stick to the bottom and burn. So we will place this lid very, very carefully on top of the pan here. Isn't that wonderful, folks? It sounds wonderful, doesn't it, Marty?
Looks delicious.
It does. Now, we're going to let this, as the instructions say here on our box, it says cover and simmer about 11 minutes. But as we always say, not too much and not too little. That's our motto. Stir occasionally until pasta is tender. So we will wait for about 11 minutes as we'll set on our timer here. There's that's 6 minutes. We want 11 minutes. Not too much and not too little. That's our motto, isn't it, Marty?
Yes, it is.
That's right. Now, as we wait for our pasta, it says stir occasionally. But as our motto says, not too much and not too little. So we are going to sit back and relax, as you must always do when cooking. Well, there's the buzzer, Marty.
That is
Look at
indeed,
that
Paul.
scrumptious meal.
That
All cooked.
looks delicious.
Now what we got to do is remove the lid, turn off the heat, remove it from the heat, and always be careful not to touch the burner, folks.
Right, because it would be hot.
And that would be dangerous. Safety is our motto.
That's right, Paul.
Now, folks, as we watch this scrumptious meal turn into an even more scrumptious meal right before our eyes, we just watch the sauce thicken and make sure that we're not sticking to the bottom here. Look at the sauce thicken.
Am I correct that the sauce will thicken as it steams?
It is thickening as it's standing. Good observation, Marty. You're a brilliant one. Now, folks, remember, cooking is our motto. Thanks.
How's it going, Marty and Paul?
It looks like we have it about finished, Bob.
Well, what do you think? Should we try it out, Morty?
I think we should, Paul.
Well, isn't it normal to ask for volunteers from the audience?
We should, Bob. Why don't you ask if we have any volunteers?
Should I ask you if there are any volunteers, Marty?
Bob, I think you should.
All right. Do we have any volunteers?
Pick me, Paul. You're being a fan. Well, guys, let's give it to those fans. Presentation is our motto.
That's right.
Presentation is our motto.
That's a happy one. Sure enough, a big meal. As I said, presentation is our motto. Eat up, boys. Thanks for joining us on the cooking channel, folks.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I haven't tried it yet.
That's right, Marty. Neither have I. Have you tried it, Bob?
No, Paul, I have not. How about you, Marty?
No, Bob.
Bob. I'm insulted.
I'm sorry, Bob.
My name's Bob.
Sometimes I get confused.
I'm sorry, Bob. I love